رأيتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وسرت وأنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله.
اللهم صل على محمد.
وما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي فقال يا أمه إني أشم عندك روحية طيبة كأنها روحية جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب هاتي قد أذنت لك فدخل معه تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي فقال لي يا أمه إني أشم عندك روحية طيبة كأنها روحية جد رسول الله فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه والسلام عليك يا من خلق الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك فدخل معهما تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله فقلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك روحية طيبة كأنها روحية أخي وابن أمي رسول الله فقلت نعم ها هو ما ولديك تحت الكساء فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء قال وعليك السلام يا أخي ووسيئي وخليفتي وصاحب لبويك قد أذنت لك فدخل علي تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بنتي قد أذنت لك فدخلت تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومئ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وهامتي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فقال قال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا رب ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وسلم.
فقال جبرائيل يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم. فقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله عليك السلام يا أمين وهي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جم من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام إذن والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جم من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم محموم إلا وفرج الله هما ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآل محمد صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل
मरकज़ पे खड़ा अपने मरकज़ पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न भुलाऊंगी ना आएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाऊंगी ना आएगा हुसैन। क्योंकि सरवर ने कहा आँख तो खोलो अम्मा, इतनी खामोश क्यों मुझसे तो बोलो अम्मा। याद नाना की जो आई है तो अपने मरकज पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। मुझसे बाबा का सिसकना नहीं देखा जाता, गमज़दा भाई का गिरिया नहीं देखा जाता। अब तो कुलसूम का रोना नहीं देखा जाता, मुझसे ज़ैनब का तड़पना नहीं देखा जाता। अपने मरकज पे अपने मरकज पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। कौन बाबा को मसाइब में दिलासा देगा, हम गरीबों को भला कौन सहारा देगा। बहरे गम कैसे सफीने को किनारा देगा, जाने हर हाल में यूं कौन हमारा देगा। अपने मरकज पे अपने मरकज पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। अभी नाना की जुदाई का अलम ताजा है, गुरबते रहमत कौनैन का गम ताजा है। कल्बे मुज़तर में गमे शाहे उमम ताजा है, अब सीरों पे फलक का ये सितम ताजा है। अपने मरकज पे अपने मरकज पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। सुन के सरवर का सुकन बंदे कफन टूट गया, रूहे ज़हरा हुई बेचैन पलक कर आया। हाथ फैला के ज़किया ने हसन फरमाया, गले लग जा मेरे अब न ये कहना बेटा। अपने मरकज पे अपने मरकज पे खड़ा अश्क बहाएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। अम्मा जब तक न बुलाओगी ना आएगा हुसैन। सलवात मोहम्मद सलावत। ये मेरे नाना मीर हैदर अली अख्तर ने लिखा है, उनके लिए एक फातिहा। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु वो जो लतीफ रब्त है खुशबू का फूल से है फातिमा को वैसे ही निस्बत रसूल से। शायद मुबाहले की घड़ी आ गई है फिर, शायद मुबाहले की घड़ी आ गई है फिर, हम सुरखरू रहेंगे दुआए बतूल से। बैत बदस्ते हाकिमे गद्दार क्या सवाल, हदे नहीं है हम तो हुसैनी उसूल से। हमको अमीर शहर मिटाएगा किस तरह, हमको अमीर शहर मिटाएगा किस तरह, इससे कहो कि ख्वाब ना देखे फजूल से। अख्तर टूटे किसी भी वक्त ये वो सिलसिला नहीं, अख्तर शज्जर के साथ है साया जुदा नहीं। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद हर फातिमा ज़हरा का जब शान का घर है, घर फातिमा ज़हरा का जब शान का घर है, ये वही की मंजिल है, ये कुरान का घर है। इस्लाम के माहौल में ईमान का घर है, मोमिन की मुनाफिक की ये पहचान का घर है। कुछ लोग मरे जाते हैं इस रंजो महल में, इस घर का जो दरवाजा है मस्जिद के सहन में। अल्लाह ने इस घर को नबूवत से नवाजा, दुनिया में से दीन और शरीयत से नवाजा, इस्मत से मामत से विलायत से नवाजा, हर फर्द को कुरान की आयत से नवाजा, साचे में मशीयत के ये अफराद धले हैं, सब चादर तत्हीर के साए में पले हैं। ये अज़्म के फौलाद इसी घर में मिलेंगे, ये नूर के अजसाद इसी घर में मिलेंगे, जिब्रील के उस्ताद इसी घर में मिलेंगे, इस सतह के अफराद इसी घर में मिलेंगे, मखलूक की बस आखिरी सरहद नजर आया, जिस फर्द को देखा नजर आया। असहाब मुकर्रम है मगर अपनी जगह पर, गैर अपनी जगह लखते जिगर अपनी जगह पर, खार अपनी जगह गुंजाए तर अपनी जगह पर, संग अपनी जगह लालो गोहर अपनी जगह पर, पहलू में जो बैठा हो उसे दिल नहीं कहते, रहरों को कभी रहबर नहीं कहते। अल्लाह रे सो शरफे तेरे सालात, कंदीले हरम शम्मे शबेस्ताने मामद, रहमत जो मोहम्मद है तो ये पाराए रहमान, वो कुल्ले नबूवत है तो ये जुज़्वे नबूवत। आसान न कहो मारिफते खत्मे रसूल को, जो जिसको न समझा हो वो क्या समझेगा। हर फातिमा ज़हरा का शान का घर है। मोहम्मद वाले
हमारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है, हाय बाबा तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। कैसे दरवाज़ा हटाऊं, कैसे मुँह से को बचाऊं, सांस सीने में रुकी है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। हाथ में जिसके मेरा हाथ दिया था तुमने, कह के मन को तो जिसे मौला कहा था तुमने, मैंने हर मोड़ पे बाबा साथ उसका है निभाया। हाँ मेरा जुर्म यही है, तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। तेरी उम्मत ने बना दी है ये हालत बाबा, कोई फसली भी नहीं मेरी सलामत बाबा। सांस लेती हूँ मैं जिस दम, रुकने लगता है मेरा दम, सिर्फ मरने की कमी है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। कभी दरबार में पेशी को बुलाते हैं हमें, कभी दरवाजे पे आके सताते हैं हमें। मेरे ये फूल से बच्चे पूछते हैं यही मुझसे, क्या खता हमसे हुई है। मुसीबत की घड़ी है। शर्म आती है भला तुमको बताऊं कैसे, ये तमाचों के निशा तुमको दिखाऊं कैसे। तुम न पहचान सकोगे देख कर मुझसे कहोगे, क्या मेरी ज़हरा यही है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। ये अज़ियत ये खामोशी नहीं देखी जाती, मुझसे तन्हाई अली की नहीं देखी जाती। तेरा पैगाम सुनाने हक विलायत का बताने ज़ारा घर घर में गई है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। आपके सोग में तारीख न देखा गया घर, आग दरवाजे पे उम्मत ने लगा दिया कर। बाबा जाबाद तुम्हारे देखिए घर में हमारे रोशनी कैसे हुई है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है। शर्म आती है भला तुमको बताऊं कैसे, ये तमाचों के निशा तुमको दिखाऊं कैसे। तुम ना पहचान सकोगे देख कर मुझको कहोगे, क्या मेरी ज़ारा यही है। तेरी ज़हरा पे मुसीबत की घड़ी है।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
बारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
एक मतलब तो शेर सुन लीजिए, उसके बाद एक मसाइल का कलाम। है अंबिया का अकीदा बतूल हक पर है। है अंबिया का अकीदा बतूल हक पर है। हर एक हक से ज्यादा बतूल हक पर है अंबिया का। वो शख्स छोड़ दे कहना रसूल को सादिक, वो शख्स छोड़ दे कहना रसूल को सादिक, जो शख्स कह नहीं सकता
सारा बुलंदर
अगर अज़ां में इज़ाफ़े की कुछ इजाज़त हो, अगर अज़ां में इज़ाफ़े की कुछ इजाज़त हो, कहूँगा शहादा बतूल वक्त पर
पर दुश्मन ज़हरा लानत
वो जिनको अहले सकीफा डर नहीं लगता, वो जिनको अहले सकीफा से डर नहीं लगता, लगाए मिल के वो नारा बतूल वक्त पर
बीबी के दुश्मनों पर लानत
का अकीदा बतूल हक पर मोहम्मद वाले
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
बड़ा अजीम था सदमा, अली बहुत रोए, बड़ा अजीम था सदमा, अली बहुत रोए, बना के तुर्बत ज़हरा, अली बहुत रोए, न रोए हाथ के छालों को देख कर मौला, न रोए घर में रहा 3 रोज तक फाका, शिकस्ता पहलू जो देखा, अली बहुत रोए, गले में बांधी गई रस्सियां तो सब्र किया, डरे बतूल से उठा धुआं तो सब्र किया, उठा है दर्द ये कैसा, अली बहुत रोए, कहा हुसैन से दीदार आखिरी कर लो, हसन से कहते थे माँ जा रही है आके मिलो, किया जो बच्चों ने गिरिया, अली बहुत रोए। पुकारा माँ को तड़प कर हुसैन ने जिस दम रखा था, माँ ने भी उस वक्त ममता का भरम, कफन जो टूटा, अली बहुत रोए। सुला के ज़ेरे लहद बिनते मुस्तफा को अली किए वो बैन के सारी जमीन लरज़ने लगी। ये सारे सब जो टूटा, अली बहुत रोए। शरीके गम की लहद पर बहाए थे आंसू, बवक़्ते गुस्ल भी आँखों में आए थे आंसू। पकड़ के अपना कलेजा, अली बहुत रोए। बड़ा अजीम था सदमा, अली बहुत रोए। मोहम्मद
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मोहम्मद।
बीबी के कातिलों पे लाना। मोहम्मद
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि
बीबी ज़हरा ने रोकर कहा, आए बाबा मेरी पसलियां, आ गया मेरा वक़्ते क़ज़ा, आए बाबा मेरी पसलियां। तुम सलामी को आते थे और आग लेकर वो आए यहाँ, मुझ पे दरवाजा कर गिरा। ज़र्ब जब एक लगी ना कहा, मुँह से बस एक निकली सदा, ओए बाबा मेरी पसलियां। जालिमों ने वो ढाया सितम, दर तले मुझको रौंदा गया। नेक पहलू में ऐसी लगी, कैसा सदमा है बाबर बता। मेरा मोहसिन भी मारा गया, आए बाबा मेरी पसलियां। क्या सुनाऊं मैं दरबार की, अपना हक मैं जताती रही। मुझको इतने तमाचे लगे, वो अली से छुपाती रही। माजरा आए बाबा क्या सुनाऊं बेदरबार की, अपना हक मैं जताती रही। मुझको इतने तमाचे लगे, मुँह अली से छुपाती रही। बरस वो माजरा आए बाबा मेरी घुटनियों चल के आए अपने अकबर की आवाज पर। माँ से कहना नहीं कह रहा था तुम्हारा पिसर। कलेजा मेरा आए बाबा मेरी आलम यो शरीके रिसालत है फातिमा। आलम में यो शरीके रिसालत है फातिमा। रहमान नबी है साया रहमान है फातिमा। आलम में यूं शरीके रिसालत है फातिमा। मरियम का फातिमा से भला क्या मुकाबला। मरियम का फातिमा से भला क्या मुकाबला। मरियम तो आबदा है इबादत है फातिमा। मरियम तो आबदा है इबादत है फातिमा। शौहर वली पदर है पैगंबर पिसर इमाम। शौहर वली पदर है पैगंबर पिसर इमाम। कितनी अजीम दीन की ताकत है फातिमा। कितनी
अजीब दीन
ताकत है
मस्तूरी है बीबी फातिमा तो ज़हरा बुलंदर सलावत
यूं शरीके रिसालत है फातिमा
दाश्ते मुबाहिला में पैगंबर को देख कर दाश्ते
मुबाहिला में पैगंबर को देख कर
कहना पड़ेगा जुज़्बे
रिसालत है फातिमा
कहना पड़ेगा जुज़्बे
रिसालत है फातिमा
दोनों के इश्तिराक से सजदा कबूल है दोनों
के इश्तिराक से सजदा कबूल है
अगर नमाज
तो नियत है फातिमा हैदर अगर नमाज तो नियत है फातिमा
आलम में यूं
शरीके रिसालत है फातिमा
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व अली मुहम्मद
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत
से पहले फजल के चंद वो घर के हुक्म जहाँ फातिमा के चलते हैं वो घर के हुक्म जहाँ फातिमा के चलते हैं तमाम काम वहीं से खुदा के चलते हैं वो घर के हुक्म जहाँ फातिमा के चलते हैं ये कैसी राह गुजर है ये कैसी मंजिल है ये कैसी राह गुजर है ये कैसी मंजिल है कि मुस्तफा भी यहाँ सर झुका के चलते हैं वो घर के हुक्म जहाँ फातिमा के चलते हैं कि जैसे हाथ में अलमाइदा का सूरा हो कि जैसे हाथ में अलमाइदा का सूरा हो मलक यूं रोटियां तेरी उठा के चलते हैं वो घर के हुक्म जहाँ फातिमा के चलते हैं जबी पे फख्र से रुमाल सैयदा बांधे जबी पे फख्र से रुमाल सैयदा बांधे तमाम वालों में हुए मुस्कुरा के चलते हैं, वो घर के हुक्म जहां फातिमा के चलते हैं। बना न ले कोई दुनिया उठा के वो मिट्टी, बना न ले कोई दुनिया उठा के वो मिट्टी। यूं नक्श पाते रहे दर छुपा के चलते हैं, वो घर के हुक्म जहां फातिमा के चलते हैं। पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंद सलावत
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
सूरह फातिहा।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
बाबा को रोते रोते जो ज़हरा गुज़र गई, बाबा को रोते रोते जो ज़हरा गुज़र गई। भूल पड़ गया के बिनते नबी कुछ कर गई, भूल पड़ गया के बिनते नबी कुछ कर गई। बातों के रंज से के हुजूर बदल गई, महबूब के प्रिया की अज़ादार मर गई। 18वें बरस ने ये आफत दिखाई है, आले नबी को चरख ने लूटा दुहाई है, आले नबी को चरख ने लूटा दुहाई है। घर में आए तो बेताब बेकरार, अस्मा से पूछने लगे अम्मा का हाल सा। वो बोली नींद आ गई है शुक्र किरदिगार, खाना तो जल्द खा लो के भूखे हो मैंने सा। बोले के चैन देगा जमाना तो खाएंगे, अम्मा हमें खिलाएंगे खाना तो खाएंगे, अम्मा हमें खिलाएंगे खाना तो खाएंगे। ये सुन के बेकरार हुई बोझ गए बेगार, चादर जमीन पे फेंक के चिल्लाई बार बार। बच्चे हैं इनको सब्र दे ऐ मेरे किरदिगार, अब वो खिलाने वाली कहाँ तुम पे मैंने साथ। प्यारों तुम्हारे पालने वाली गुजर गई, अरे खाओगे किसके हाथ से अम्मा तो मर गई, खाओगे किसके हाथ से अम्मा तो मर गई। फिर तो अली के घर में कयामत बपा हुई, ताजा बला में आले नबी मुब्तला हुई। मातम पे मातम और अज़ा पर अज़ा हुई, गुल था रसूल पाक पे ज़हरा फिदा हुई। सब रो रहे थे बिनते रसूल कदीर को, बच्चों को होश था ना जना बे अमीर को, बच्चों को होश थाना जनाबे अमीर को, हस्बे वसीयत आपने गोश लो कफन दिया, नागाह बारगाह ये शोरगुल हुआ, रुखसत करो के जाती हैं अहमद की दिलरुबा, सबतैन ने लिपट के कहा वाह मुसीबता, किस बात पर गरीबों से मुंह मोड़ कर चली, क्यों अम्मा जान किस पे हमें छोड़ कर चली, क्यों अम्मा जान किस पे हमें छोड़ कर चली, नाना का जिक्र करके नाना का जिक्र होके फिर एक बार कर जाओ, मातम रसूल का बदले जार करती जाओ, फिर ताज़ा याद सैयद आबरार करती जाओ, छाती से फिर लगा के हमें प्यार करती जाओ, ये सुनते ही दिखा दिए रुतबे रसूल के, निकले कफन से हाथ जनाबे रसूल के, निकले कफन से हाथ जनाबे बतूल के, बाबा को रोते रोते जो सहारा गुजर गई,
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
सबसे गुजारिश है कि आगे आगे तशरीफ ले आइए, पर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद बुलंद तर सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
बारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
बारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
पर दुश्मनाने अहले बैत लानत
बेशुमार।
बारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
नारे तकबीर,
अल्लाहु अकबर।
नारे रिसालत,
या रसूल अल्लाह।
नारे हैदरी,
या अली।
मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
बराए खुशनूदी जनाब फातिमा ज़हरा बुलंद तर सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
बारे दीगर नारे सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत।
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin wa huwal ahsanul hakim. Assalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Abul Qasim
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
Certainly, it is very clear that the hiding of the Shahada date of Bibi Fatima and the confusion between the Muslims of her death date is a very big tragedy and injustice to Bibi Fatima. This habit, you might say, or occurrence, began from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلي محمد.
And we can still see the repercussions of this today. When we read different books from different scholars that narrate different dates of Rasulullah Shahad, in the entire Muslim community, this problem is present. In reality, the date was hidden by none other than, yes, you know who. And the reason it was hidden was that if everyone found out that was when Rasulullah had died, then they would ask, how had Rasulullah died? And then that would open an entire can of worms that would lead them to be forced to tell that's how much soil they had done to Rasulullah and how much they had oppressed him. But how does this tie into today's topic? Well, today I will talk to you about the characteristics and miracles of Bibi Fatima Zehra.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلي محمد.
And I will move towards in the Messiah, in which I found how atrocious these human beings must be if they attack such a lady, the Lady of Light. Let us begin. When Bibi Fatima was at the age of 5, her mother had passed away. And no matter how hard anyone tried, they could not get her to stop crying. Time after time she would ask Rasulullah, Baba, where is Allah? Where is my mother? Where is she? In fact, she was crying to such an extent that Allah had to send a wahi to her through Jibreel, saying, "Oh Fatima, I send my salam upon you." This is Allah we're talking about. Allah is sending salam upon Bibi Fatima. Oh Fatima, I send my salam upon you. Your mother is with us in Jannah. She is in a palace of white pearls. She is there. After hearing this, Bibi Fatima obviously calmed down. But I want to bring your attention to something very important in this way. Allah says salam to Bibi Fatima. Do you know what this means? In the entirety of existence, in the entirety of time, in the entirety of creation, there are only two women who Allah has said salam to. One is Bibi Khadija, when she was ascending to the cave of Harrow, bringing food for Rasulullah in a time of
محمد وآل محمد صلوا.
And the second is right now. This just shows how high Bibi Fatima is in the eyes of Allah, how high her status is, her rank. And there's the second story, which just shows that in this world, there are certain people that Allah has chosen that will shine. So when Rasulullah, after a while, Rasulullah says to Bibi Fatima, "Today I have made an arrangement with one of the greatest men on this planet by the command of Allah. Who else can the greatest man on this planet be? Ali." And Bibi Sayyida's wedding caravan emerged on the street with such glory that the entire street lit up. If you were there, if you can see through the lights, you'd have seen Hazrat Salman and Farsi leading the camel, and you'd have seen Janabi Ammar at the back. And Rasulullah had said to one of his wives to go ahead singing praises of Bibi Fatima, and I doubt they would have been finished anytime soon. So after a while, they arrived at Imam Ali's house and the wedding arranged. But there's something that I saw someone say. There's a man called Abidi. He said, never have I seen such a wedding, nor have I seen such a wedding ceremony where Allah Himself has read the vows. And we're all 1,24,000 Anbiya have stood witness. You have to remember, this is the house where Al-Qadr came into. This is the house which they emerged to. This is the house where the ayat of rule came in. In fact, you might even say that the entire Quran came into this house. And how great must the rank of this house and this household must be in the eyes of Allah? I doubt any of us can comprehend that. Because this same house had a door. And this door, Rasulullah himself, the messenger of Allah, would come to 5 times a day. After Zuhr, after Maghrib, after Isha, after Fajr, and say salam to the house and to the people inside it. To Bibi Fatima, to Imam Ali. And after that came the celebration when Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein were born. The lights of the house. And this house had a door. You've got to remember this door because we'll come back to it later. And now I've told you how great this day is, even though it's only a very small amount of hadith. And the very small amount of hadith has just made a very, very big statement. Now you must listen how merciful and kind Bibi Fatima is. Imam Hassan narrates, I was very young, and half the night had passed. It was very cold. In fact, it was so cold that my teeth were chattering. But even though all of these hardships, even though it was cold, it was freezing, I saw my mother get up and go and do wuzu with cold water. Imam Hassan was saying this. It's cold. It's a cold night, and Bibi Fatima gets up and does wuzu and stands up for prayer. After a while, the namaz had finished, and now Imam Hassan says, I was now attentive and awake. And I saw Bibi Fatima's hands raised for dua. Now you've got to remember, Bibi Fatima's dua may be the greatest dua, the greatest way to get your dua, your hajat accepted ever. Bibi Fatima raised her hands for dua. And she didn't pray for herself, not for her family, but for the entirety of the Muslim Ummah. She prayed for her neighbors. She prayed for everyone, name by name. Everybody's name was mentioned in that dua. And then Bibi Fatima, and then Bibi Fatima prayed for the entire world. The entire world, Bibi Fatima prayed for. No doubt of that. And after a while, the hands came down. And Bibi Fatima was finished. Imam Hassan moved forward, and he says, I asked my mother, oh mother, I heard everyone in the Ummah, everyone in the world's name in that dua, but I didn't hear the name of your 2 sons, nor your husband and my father. Bibi Fatima replied, oh son, oh Hassan, I only prayed for those who needed it. I prayed for those who wouldn't survive if I hadn't prayed for them. For this is the sort of Bibi Fatima on the Day of Judgment. She may be the only way that you get. For her intercession is great. Greater than anything else I may say. And look at this. Look at her devotion. She got up in the middle of the night, in a freezing cold night, did wuzu with freezing cold water and prayed for the Muslim Ummah, even though we all know that sometime later she was passed away at the ripe age of 18. She was going away from this world and she was praying for everyone. How do you think the Muslim Ummah should have reacted to this? Now, there's one last story that I want to say. It's a story about Bibi Fatima, and when she was asked to attend the wedding of a Jew's daughter in Medina, And arrangements for the wedding of the Jew's daughter were ready. And he wished that Bibi Sayyida should honor him and his family by coming to the wedding. And so he approached Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
And asked him, should Bibi Fatima came to tent? Rasulullah directed him to Imam Ali, as he had more authority over the matter. Imam Ali, the Jew approached Imam Ali. Imam Ali replied, it is up to Fatima. And then he directed her to Fatima. The man came to the house of Fatima and announced himself at the door. And said, I wish for you to come to my daughter's wedding. Would you honor us by coming? Bibi Fatima replied, only if Rasulullah and Janab Amir have agreed I will come. Look at this. Look at this bond between the three of them. They all first asked each other. And then, look, this is solid. This is a solid family. So then the Jew told him, I had already asked them and they directed me towards you. Bibi Fatima then said, okay, I will think about it. After maybe a few days, Rasulullah came to her house whilst Bibi Fatima was thinking about the matter. And since Rasulullah had come, and he was a well of knowledge, Bibi Fatima said, O father, I have been asked to come to this wedding. Should I come or should I not? What do you advise me? Rasulullah replied, O my child, you are at liberty to either accept or refuse. No control. Bibi Sayyida said, well, my presence in the eyes of their folk may be an insult to them because my clothes are patched and dirty and old whilst they were wearing jewelry and lush dresses. I might insult them. Rasulullah said, you may attend with what you have dressed, and the rest is in the hands of Allah. On the day when Bibi Fatima was getting ready, she was just about to leave her room when angels descended from Jannat, came down, gave her a new dress, gave her some jewelry, and when they departed the house, if you could have seen them, you would have seen a procession of angels marching forward.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
The angels to her left, and the angels to her right, in front and behind. And the entire city was illuminated. After all, she is the Lady of Light, is she not? Because then Bibi Fatima reached the house. The house of the Jew was struck with the nur of Bibi Fatima, and the women folk who Bibi Fatima was afraid of insulting, they were all awestruck. They were so shocked. In fact, many of them fell unconscious from Bibi Fatima's door. The entire house was filled with fragrance. After some time, everyone got up, everyone recovered, but the bride. And they tried everything. The bride just wouldn't wake up. She was unconscious, and after a while it was announced that the bride was dead. And after they told Bibi Fatima this, she was grieved. After all, she had come to him and to the wedding, to attend this wedding with the bride. And so she assured everyone, it's okay, I will pray to Allah and this will all be fixed. Then and there she sat and prayed. She read 2 rakat namaz and she says, Dua, O my Lord, I am the daughter of your messenger. You have named me Batul and Siddiqa, and for the sake of your messenger, do fulfill my assurance that I have given to these people. O Lord, I am the daughter of your messenger. My respect and my honor is in your hands. She had not even finished the supplication. She hadn't even got off the mat. And her dua was answered. Just previously, I just said that she had prayed for the entirety of the Muslim Ummah. And here we have proof that her du'as are immediately answered. The bride got up. And when she got up, she was reading salawat. She then starts to repeat, there is no God but Allah. There is no God but Allah. And Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And then she looked at Bibi and said, you are the daughter of the Prophet. Would you please put me on the right path and purify me? No sooner than this had happened, everyone that had come to the wedding turned into Muslims. Well, you can see clearly that Bibi Fatima's greatness and desire were inevitably limitless. But even though all of this, how do you think the Muslims treated her? How do they react to all of this? When Rasulullah was preparing to leave this world, does the Ummah recognize this? What do you think they would have done? I would have guessed that they had gone to his house and offered condolences to the Ummah. No. Instead, they organized an election. Before his burial had even happened, and the successor of the Prophet was busying himself with the ghusl, the janazah, they were doing this. Is that what you expected from everyone? This is the man who had taken everyone out of time Jahiliyyah. And he had only made one request on his deathbed. Please, after I die, treat my family with respect. What do you think happened on that night? On that night when hundreds of them gathered at the door of Fatima, threatening to burn it down, raising swords and shouting, we want Ali to come out and give us bay'ah. Bibi Fatima came behind the door. And then Umar ibn Khattab ordered the door to be kicked down and the house to be burned. The door was kicked down when the daughter of the Prophet was still behind it, and this door had nails. The nails pierced the skin of the Lady of Light and killed the unborn child of Ali and Zehra, Mohsin. And then, after those days, you would have seen Bibi Fatima limping towards the grave of her father, crying. And then after the entire day that you would have seen her back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My Fatima, how could you walk that far with such a pain? How could you see your husband dragged out into the street before you, while the children are still watching and the house is set on fire? How could you see this? But I know, small 5-year-old girl is Karbala, and Shab who knows this pain. And I know she could relate to your pain and could relate to your injuries. When Sakina was being given ghusl, her body was blue and bruised, the same way that Fatima was bruised after Umar came in and slapped her and whipped her. My Fatima, she knows this pain, but she also knows the pain of seeing your son lying on the plains of Karbala without a head, without ghusl, and without kafan, Fatima, and his family being treated like animals in the markets and courts of Sham and Sham.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One love.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
हमारे दीगर नारे सलावात
For a start, I think you need me here when you have such excellent speaker here.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. You don't need me here, and MashaAllah, I've been in the actual madrasa system for about 18 years. Very few kids, that much knowledge, clarity, accuracy. Alhamdulillah, he's got a very bright future. And
Inshallah.
for his success in all his efforts and all his rewards, can we recite aloud salawat, please?
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. خاتم النبيين خلق العظيم. سيدنا ومولانا أبا القاسم محمد المصطفى.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أهل البيت والطيبين الطاهرين الأكرمين المظلومين المنتدبين الهداة المهديين. اللهم الآن إصابة التي جهادة الحسين وشايعات وبايعات وطابعات على قتله، اللهم العنهم جميعا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد والفرقان الحميد والكتاب المبلغين والقرآن الحكيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل لا أسألكم عليه أجرا إلى المودة في القربى. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
A presentation of a loud and a beautiful salawat for the love of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Another loud and a beautiful presentation of salawat for the acceptance of today's majalis.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
And lastly, can we have the most loudest and the most beautiful recitation for the advent and for the intazar of the Zuhur of Imam al-Mahdi. Ajjal Allah Ta'ala Faraj al-Sharif. Respected brothers, mu'mineen, Tubbani Ahlul Bayt, Assalamu alaikum, Jameen wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Before I start, I'd like to point a few trends in Shia thought, conscious thought, that there's a massive change taking place, yes? And I feel to actually address this, and I think it's very important. There are lots of people who are questioning or being suspicious or saying it's bid'ah. Why are we now commemorating Fatimiyya like we're doing now? Whereas some of the elders here, okay, they will know probably even about 7, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, Fatimiyya, Khamsa maybe, 3 days maybe, yes, okay, and maybe 20 years ago, one Majlis, maybe. Why Fatimiyya? It's 20 days now, yes. It's from the 13th of Jamad al-Awwal, from the 3rd of to the 3rd of the Sani, 20 days, yeah, 2 Asharas, okay? Now it's not consistent, but the question is why? Why now? Is it a bid'ah? Okay, is this something new? Is it an innovation? We just complete, because Shia, we love actually majalis, so keep doing it, yes? We have many, many speakers now. We can do it at home, we can do it in Mambaraka, we can do it online. Is that the case? No, it's not. If this is the case, then Arba'in did not exist before too. Arba'in did not, go back say 7-8 years. Arbain just kicked off, started 2014-15. 5 million, 10 million, 15, 20, 25, and the unofficial figures are 30, 35. Yes? So why are these two now expanded so much that the whole world is doing Fatimiyya and the whole world is doing Arbain? Why? This gives you a big clue. What the say? We're coming close because this is the start and the beginning of the era of Imam al-Mahdi. The closer we come to his zuhur, the more manifest the truth will become. Everything that was hidden in the past, maybe we couldn't say openly, yes. But now, because of Imam al-Mahdi, and Imam al-Mahdi is linked to Bibi Fatima, Yabna Zahra, Salam alaikum. One of his titles and one of the invocations that you took is Yabna Zahra. Yes? Is it Yabna Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam? No, it's not. Yabna Zahra. Not Yabna Muhammad, but Yabna Ali. Yes? Hassan, Hussein, and whatever. No, Yabna Zahra. Particularly. Why? It's that link. This is one of the reasons, the hidden reasons, the mystical reasons of Fatimiyya now becoming expanded. Yes, I don't want to devote the whole Majlis to this, but it's a very important point. And also Arba'in, because Imam Hussein is linked to who? Imam al-Mahdi. Yes, when you arrive at Karbala, Karbala should take you to Imam al-Mahdi. Yes, so that's why these two now are commemorated on such a big, grand scale. Let no one confuse you and your minds that why are we doing this? Whether it's within, or whether it's from the brothers from the outside, how come this is a new bid'ah? No, this is a proof, another manifestation. We're close every day. We're closer to the Advent and the Zuhur of Imam al-Mahdi. So the two ayats that I quoted in the beginning. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم. Oh Muhammad, tell them, قل إن كنتم تحبون الله. Tell them, you want to love me? Yes. Isn't that the purpose of our creation? Isn't that why we have been made? Is to attain His pleasure, seek His pleasure. Any ibadah you do, what is it? قربة إلى الله. Yes. So قل إن كنتم تحبون الله. Tell them, if you want to love me, when you want to in Allah, tell them to do your ittiba, to obey you. So we understand now. Our purpose of the creation is what? To love Allah, seek His pleasure, whatever we do in everything, whether it's in your life or your ibadah or your muamalats, okay, or your dealings, is to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But within that, there's a condition. Is obey and follow the Prophet, yes? And then what does Allah say in return? In kuntum tuhibbun Allah fattabi'uni yuhibbukum Allah, then I will love you. Allahu Akbar. What a beautiful ayat. I will love you. So we understand now. Allah said, you want to love me? You understand the purpose now of my creation. I have to love Him. Yes? But in order to love Him, I have to obey Rasulullah. And then Allah does not say, okay, then you will love me. I'll bring you closer. No, I will love you. You'll come closer to me. But so yuwaffiqukum Allah wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wallahu ghafurur rahim. And He will then forgive your mistakes and your sins because He is Ghafurur Rahim. The second ayat, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. I seek no recompense except for the love of my near kindred, of the Ahlul Bayt. Why have I joined these two ayats together? Because they come together and like this. Why? Allah is saying, if you want to love me, follow Rasulullah. Rasulullah is saying, if you want to follow me, then I don't want nothing from you except for the love of my kindred. Yes? These ayats come together. We understand love of Allah is love of the Ahlul Bayt. Yes? Love of Ahlul Bayt is what? Is to follow Rasulullah. Follow Rasulullah is what? It's the Sunnah. What is the Sunnah? It's the Ahlul Bayt. So wherever you are obedient to Allah, you're obedient to Rasulullah and the Ahlul Bayt, it's the same thing as being loving Allah and loving Rasulullah and loving the Ahlul Bayt. These two are synonymous. They are in sync, they're in harmony. You cannot split them, they're actually one. Ahad, love and obedience. Don't just claim you love, yet you don't obey, yet you don't follow, yet you don't follow the instructions. Yes? So, the reason why I place these two ayats is because we want to see in history. And particularly, I want to focus today on a history that starts from Ghadir, okay, which is the month of Dhul Hijjah. Next month is Harrow, Safar, Rabi al-Awwal, Rabi al-Thani, Jamad al-Awwal, Jamad al-Thani. 4 or 5 months. So our lecture today in the next 1 hour will go through different events, and we see that this ummah, yes, that these group of people that call themselves Muslims, yes, remember, Muslim can be a mu'min, it can be a munafiq, yes? Can a mu'min be a munafiq? No. Can a munafiq be a mu'min? No. A Muslim can be a mu'min, it can be a munafiq, yes? So these Muslims, the so-called Muslims, yes, let's see how, when Rasulullah said, I don't want no recompense of you, and they know what the instructions are, is to follow me, is love Allah, then if you then follow me, Allah will love you. It's clear-cut in the ayats and revealed. Let's see how they treated the Ahlul Bayt. Now, I want to concentrate just in a small period of history. So post-Ghadir, we cover on the Waqia al-Aqaba. Okay, Waqiatul Aqaba. Okay, what is this? This is now, when I was researching, and I touched the books on, and I have a few here, and maybe I can touch on the books and read the text. When I was researching, there was a confusion in the actual history. This event is when 12 munafiqs at night time on a mountain pass, Jibreel comes express to Rasulullah. He says, there are 12 people who are conspiring to murder you, Ya Rasulullah. Divert your path and go up. So there was now, when I was researching this, historians have 2 versions. This is either on the way back from the Battle of Tabuk, or is from back from Ghadir. Now, when I was looking at the maps, okay, which one can it be realistically? When I was looking at the maps, it did not make sense that he's come from the battle, he's returning back from the Battle of Tabuk. And I open up Bukhari and I've got that here, okay? It's a small reference point. And here it says Tabuk. Sulaim bin Qais al-Halali, in his book, he says, no, it was after the farewell pilgrimage, meaning after Ghadir. Why after Ghadir? Because there was a conspiracy hatched in the Kaaba at the darkness of the night. When the last Hajj was completed, 5 people got together and conspired. Rasulullah has left his wasiyah. He's announced, I'm leaving 2 things behind. I'm leaving 2 things behind. We understand there's something going on. Rasulullah is now leaving the scene. He's leaving the world. And he's going to appoint Ali. We know what he's going to do. He's not appoint Ali because it's always Ali, Ali, Ali. So what we have to do, we have to assassinate either Rasulullah, and if he dies with a natural death, then let's get to Ali. So they conspire, and a document is signed in the Kaaba. They swear to each other fealty and allegiance to each other. Remember, once we take this Khilafah, we'll spread it amongst themselves. Who are the 5 people? So let's take from the audience who they think who are the usual suspects. The first one, Ahsan. Second one, Ahsan.
No.
Maybe. Okay.
Khalid bin Walid.
4th one, Khalid bin Walid. Ahsan. 5th one. Sorry? Ahsan. Well done.
Khalid bin Walid, maybe.
Khalid bin Walid, maybe. The 5th one, Usman, maybe was there. We're not sure. History has this because he didn't have a big role to play. He comes afterwards. Okay. So these 5 conspire. They then get another 7 more people, and they say, okay, on the way back to Medina after Ghadir, okay, mountain pass, and this is the road which goes either to Medina or it goes to Tabuk. So this road is called Aqaba. This was also a place where the first Aqaba and the second Aqaba took place. I don't want to go back into history too much. These were the meeting points where the Madinites and the Ansar first met Rasulullah and pledged to him that we will pledge to you, you come to Medina and we will be your helpers. So there are 2 meetings. This was the same place. And it's a mountain pass. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So Jibreel comes express delivery of information, intel. What is this? There's 12 munafiqeen. They've come to assassinate you. So the instruction is change course, tell the rest of the ashab to carry on the normal path. What you do, take another route which goes up higher so you can watch over them. This is at night time. Okay. So Rasulullah has two people, two ashabs next to him. Yes, one behind him, one ahead of him. Behind him is Ammar Yasir. In front of him is Huzaifa bin Yamani. Sorry, Huzaifa Yamani. And he then instructed them. Okay, I've been instructed by Jibreel. There's an attempt on my life. Change course. But the Munafiqeen somehow know exactly what Rasulullah is about to do. So if I can probably make it visualized, this is a normal mountain pass. There's another route to take top, and then on top of the mountain, the Munafiqeen are waiting there. Yes. Okay. And the plot is what? Get big boulders of rocks, push them, roll them down. The camel, either they hit Rasulullah and the companions that are with him, or the camel that they're riding on becomes scared, and then he throws off Rasulullah because the passage is quite thin and narrow. Then he falls and a tragedy occurs, and Rasulullah has been assassinated, and he died a death. Okay, it was an accident. So the Munafiqeen do what they have planned to do. They threw the boulders and the rocks because Rasulullah had foreknowledge and been foretold. He was saved. However, Rasulullah instructed who? Huzaifa Yamani. Find out who these guys are. He comes down and he sees 12 horses or camels without any one on top. And just like nowadays, probably you know what car Ali Jafri drives and he drives this car. They knew by the horses and the steeds and the saddles that this is their ride. Yes? So they knew. And then Huzaifa comes back and he says, these are the 12 people. Huzaifa in history is called Sirrul Nabi, the one who has the secret of Rasulullah. They used to all come back to him in the day of Medina. Hey, Huzaifa, tell me something. Come on the side. What? Is my name in there? And you find in history, the one particular person who used to always ask this question is who? None other than Omar. Yes. So and then one day he even says, I've got it. Here anyway, says, if you ask so much, then it must be you as well then. He said, no, I'm just asking the question. Okay, anyway. Now, who revealed the 12 people? Because if it's a secret, then Sulaim bin Qais asks Salman, many years after, oh Salman, this event that took place, Waqiatul al-Aqaba, when there was an attempt on the life of the Prophet, what are the 12 names? He gave the 12 names. He goes, Salman, how do you know? Because Huzaifa was supposed to keep the secret. He said, yes, only he was bound. Ammar wasn't bound. He knew the 12 was, and he told me. So let's go with the 12 names, and I think, inshallah, there's enough knowledgeable people here to gather the 12 names. The first one, let's go with first one.
Omar.
Yeah, easy. Okay, second. Hassan. Third. Third. Fourth. Abdurrahman ibn Auf. Good. Fifth. Khalid bin Walid. Sixth. Talha. Hassan. Seventh. No, he wasn't there. Zubair wasn't there. Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas. Hassan. Eighth.
Anas bin Malik.
No, he wasn't there. No, he was a good guy. He was okay. Muawiyah, okay. Muawiyah was there. Abu Sufyan actually was there, and there's two more which are also in the actual Shura too. Okay, they say 5 from the covenant in Mecca, 5 from the Shura that was part of the Shura that Umar left, which then happened that Usman becomes the actual Caliph, and the 2 extra was Muawiyah and Ma'ad bin Jabal. Okay, so these were the 12. So you see, within history, there's an attempt on Rasul's life. Whether they were the mushrik of Mecca from before, then they become Muslim. What happens? They still are the same people who try to kill the Prophet and take an attempt on his life. Now, I want to show you a ayat before we move on to the next segment, which I think is very important because, see what it is, we don't get to speak openly from the members. So when you have a home audience, alhamdulillah, we can be open, okay? So, me know loud salawat, please.
Allah salli ala.
This is from Surah Al-Tawbah, Surah number 9, ayat number 100, 101, and 102. This is a surah and the ayats that is read often by the brothers as to present the case that the ashab are truthful. And here is the proof, okay? We've heard of these ayats many times. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. والسابقون والأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بالإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه وأعد لهم جنة تجري تحت الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا ذلك الفوز العظيم. These are the foremost of the Muhajir and the Ansar. And these are the early vanguards, yes? They're the ones who follow Rasulullah in his virtue. Allah is pleased with them. They are pleased with him. They have been promised paradise and streams and rivers with flow. Yes? And they will live there forever. Alhamdulillah. This is the proof that the Ashab, radiyallahu rizwanul alayh, are all of them are okay. There's a problem here, you see. When you read 100 and they stop and you think, okay, what do I reply back? That yes, the Ashab were great people, yes. But you have to read on 101. And this is the clue. وَمِمَّنْ حَوْلَكُمْ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ مُنَافِقُونَ وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ. There are also other people, okay, who are hypocrites. And they are from the Arab, the Baddu, who surround Medina, and Ahl al-Madina. Ahl al-Madina. So who is Ahl al-Madina? They're your Rasul's neighbors. They're the people in the market, they're the people in the bazaar, yes? Now, Maradu ala al-nifaq. Maradu, mariz. They've been inflicted with the disease of nifaq. ومرضوا على النفاق لا تعلموهم نحن نعلمهم سنعذبهم مرتين ثم يردون إلى العذاب العظيم. You don't know them, we know them. So Allah is saying, Rasulullah, you don't know them. Now, you allow me to stop here. Rasulullah does know them, but what is it? It's because of the situation. If he announces who the munafiqs are, there's going to be a civil war, and Islam in its infancy just dies there and there. So therefore this ayat comes, so therefore the munafiqs feel a bit at peace. Okay, Rasulullah does not know them. Only Allah knows them. So it's okay, it's in the ghaib, yes? So the townspeople of Medina are steeped in hypocrisy. You don't know them, we know them. And they should be consigned to a great punishment. Adhabul Azim, Ahl al-Madina. So we understand there's two groups of ashab now. One are the ones in virtue, you're going to get Jannah. And another one, steeped in hypocrisy, you're from Ahl al-Madina. And the third one, I'm not going to read the whole ayat, but these are the ones who have confessed their sins. Okay, there's some good, some bad. And if Allah wishes, He will forgive you. Three groups of people. Three groups of people around Rasulullah without mentioning names. One, Jannah. One, you're going to get Adhab al-Azim. And the third one is, but okay, if you repent, Alhamdulillah. Maybe, just like me, some good, some bad, maybe. And then I repent, maybe there's a chance. Which is the average people there. Because in Medina, there was a good, at least 60, 70,000 ashab there. Are they all going to go Jannah? Are they all going to go to hell? No, they're not. Majority of the people were okay. They're the ones that we don't know the names of. Yes. Now the question here is all the Muhajirun and Ansar going to Jannah? Because here it says Sabiquna wal Awwalun. But this is it's actually all of them. We say no. There's three groups of people, and even amongst the Muhajirun, Minal Muhajirun Ansar, from the Muhajirun and the Ansar. And there's another one more ayat which I want. إن الذين آمنوا وهاجروا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله والذين نصروا أولئك بعضهم أولياء بعض. Indeed, those who believed and migrated and waged jihad with their possessions and their persons in the way of Allah, and they gave shelter, they are awliya of Allah. What do we understand? The Sabiquna awwaluna have a shart, have a condition. If you wage jihad, remember one thing, Iman, back in the time of Rasulullah, jihad was the litmus test. Whoever comes out and fights in the path of Allah, fi sabilillahi, you are mu'min. The one who runs away, the one who turns back upon the hills, as the ayat state, you are steeped in nifaq. So therefore, Sabiquna awwaluna, Surah Al-Tawbah, the ayat number 100, 101, 102, when they only quote 100, there's a condition attached, which is qualified by another ayat. Very important to learn. So therefore, we establish that there are ashab, and they're in ranks, just like the Anbiya in ranks, just like insan and rest of the creation, we all have ranks, yes? And the ashab have ranks too. And they're Muhajirun, Ansar, and who? Tulaqa. 3 groups of people that are in Medina, and these are the ones that everybody misses out. Tulaqa is your majority of your ashab. Ansar and Muhajirun probably together are about 3,000 to 5,000. That's it, at the max. The rest of the 120,000 that make up the ashab is who? Tulaqa. And Tulaqa who? Are the freed slaves. They're the ones when Rasulullah went to Mecca, and they're the actual mushrikeen, they become Muslims, yes? They give allegiance, and they're the ones called Tulaqa. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali
Muhammad.
It's actually winter, so I don't know. I'm still sweating. Okay, so this is the assassination attempt on Rasulullah, and you find this again where there's the disobedience within that time frame. So we go back to Zil Hijjah, which is 18th, yes, Qadir. Going back to now Medina, attempt of the life has happened. It fails. Okay, now what? Rasulullah knows now. It's clear cut. There are people here, they are hell-bent on making sure that Ali does not ascend to the imama, the Zahiri imama, and become the Khalifa amongst the people. So Rasulullah then arranges something just before his demise, and history states is roughly about 4 weeks before. So we're in the month of Safar now, okay? Because Rasulullah's demise is on the 28th of Safar. So this is probably the first week. He says to the ashab, and he says, Jayshul Asama, everybody now go and join the army of Osama. Osama is Osama bin Zayd, okay? Zayd was one of a very good ashab of Rasulullah. He passed away in the Battle of Muta along with Jafar bin Abi Talib. So some people, historians say it's an excuse to take revenge. Now, Jayshul Osama, Rasulullah ordered them to go to Palestine. Now, from Medina to Palestine, it's a long distance. Yes. So what was the actual ploy, or what was the plan, shall I say, of Rasulullah? Get the munafiqs out of Medina, so they go so far away. And the Ashab are saying, Ya Rasulullah, why do we have to go so far to Palestine? There's no war there. The Romans have been defeated. The Persians are not that much at the moment opposing us. Why do we go so far when you're ill? He said, no, go. And he mentioned this many, many times. They did not go. So this is the event of Jayshul Osama. Eventually, an army of roughly about 3,000 to 5,000 was collected together, and Rasulullah made sure he left them on the outskirts of Medina. However, there were conspiring women in the house because they knew. So they kept sending letters through the envoys, i.e. Aisha. She sends a letter to father, come back, what are you doing? Hafsa is sending letters to Umar, come back. If he passes away, then Ali will ascend and you're finished. And there's letters in history. Yes? Letters in history. Baba, come back. Ali will become a Khalif. Written straight. So they then come back. Rasulullah sees them. That is why you find on the last day of Rasulullah that when he calls out Ali, where is Ali to read the Salah? Aisha says, shall I call out Abu Bakr? Now, Rasul is thinking, what do you mean Abu Bakr? He's not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be in Jaysh al-Osama. What is he doing here? He says, no, call him. Now, Bukhari, I think I have this in here. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
I did mark it, but anyway, I actually remember verbatim. Okay, so Rasulullah calls out, okay, where is Ali? In Bukhari, clear cut. Aisha says, no, shall I call Abu Bakr? Says, he didn't now. Bukhari senses this, okay? Bukhari just says, Rasulullah said, call him. So it sounds like that now, if you're reading it, that, oh, it means, okay, I agree with you, call Abu Bakr. But he's not supposed to be there, is he? Hafsa's there as well. Shall I call Umar? Rasul says, call him. Again, the one reader thinks, okay, it might mean who? Umar. Okay. Then there's another lady, her name. She calls out too, and then there's another person who's mentioned too. By this time, Rasulullah is angry. He gets up and he said, where I can't see Ali. This is in Bukhari. I can't see Ali. Now, censorship here. As soon as this is done, then the text changes and says, Bilal then said that it's been announced by Rasulullah that Abu Bakr will lead the prayer. So I start cross-referencing Muslim, Bukhari, and Ibn Ishaq, which I have here as well, okay, which I think was in there, if I can remember, Ibn Ishaq. And he actually opens up the story, okay? Because sometimes you have to do this. If you just rely on Bukhari and Muslim, censorship everywhere, yes? What you do, you make sure that you have the chains on Shart al-Bukhari, meaning what? That exactly the standard of the chain that is used in Bukhari and Muslims, therefore is accepted in other hadith books of the Ahl Sunnah. You can't reject it because of the condition of the isnad, the chain of narration, yes? And that's how when we research, we make sure we go to the other books of hadith outside the 6 books. As long as the chain is the same, you have to accept it. And because the 6 books have done censorship. So, this is Life of Muhammad Ibn Ishaq. Ibn Ishaq is the first seerah on Rasulullah. Probably written about 50 years. So, probably the time of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So, it's an early writing. Authority. Remember one thing, brothers. History, we don't have our own sources. Brothers don't have our own sources. We share sources. Why? It's history. It's the same thing. The story, the events, and the incident are exactly the same. All they do and all we do, we look at it from a different angle. We take a different extraction, a different understanding, different istinbat, istikhraj. We extract different understanding and we take different interpretations from it. And that's where the disparity is. History is exactly the same. So, it says in Bukhari that Rasulullah was angry. He comes out with 2 people. And the 2 people. Then Rasulullah comes and he says, Abu Bakr says, move. And then Rasulullah starts the prayer. And in Bukhari it says that Abu Bakr was moved to the side. Ibn Ishaq opens up the story. It says that the 2, let me actually read the text because we'll actually enjoy it more. There you go. So this is in the chapter, the Apostles' illness in the house of Aisha. So here you go. The apostle went out walking between 2 men of his family. Not in Bukhari, it says just 2 men. One of whom was Fadl al-Abbas His head was bound in a cloth, and his feet were dragging as he came to my house. Ubaidullah told the tradition to Abdullah bin Abbas, which is the same chain as Bukhari, but he does censorship there, yes? Who told him that the other man was Ali, but Aisha could not bring herself to speak well of him, though she was not able to. Bukhari censored it because he didn't want to put Aisha's name in there as not being seen, not liking Ali. Ibn Ishaq does a favor and makes sure that he quotes it as it is. So Rasulullah comes out with two people, Abdullah bin Abbas, and he comes with Imam Ali alayhi salam. Yes, his feet are dragging, and he tells in another narration, Abu Bakr, what are you doing here? Get out from here. He shouts at him, yes, to let the other people know this is not a legitimate person to read a prayer. How can Abu Bakr lead a prayer? However, according to Sunni criteria, I don't want to use language that's not befitting, okay? But anybody, even if you're not a man, or you could look like a woman, okay? A man could be a woman, could be a man, they could lead a prayer too. Okay? This is a legitimate fiqh issue within Hanifi, Shafi, Maliki, Hanafi. Yeah? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali So for Al-Aqaba, the assassination attempt, Jaysh al-Osama, you find that this is pure disobedience. The Sahaba don't want to go. The majority of them, they don't want to go. And we then end up at the closure of the last few moments of his life. And another assassination attempt takes place. In whose house? In Aisha's house. Rasulullah is in his last throes of life. And Aisha, Hafsa, Abu Bakr, Umar, they bring a drink. Okay. In Bukhari, it said it's a medicine. Rasulullah said, I don't want this medicine. They say, no. Maybe because he's ill and a patient, sometimes it's a little bit ziddi, he's a bit, I don't want to take this, okay? They say, no. Maybe he's a patient, that's why he's doing this. Force him. Now, in the house is who? Is also Abbas, okay? Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib, who is the uncle of Rasulullah. He's in the house too. He says, why are you forcing Rasulullah? They said, no, he needs medicine, Rasulullah said, I don't want the medicine. And they force him. They feed him the medicine. Rasulullah gets unconscious. The hadith states in Bukhari, he gets up and he says, now Bukhari has this incident, Ibn Ishaq has this incident, okay? Sirah by Shibli Ramani has this incident, and Tariq Tabari and Sirah Ibn Hisham. Okay, I looked at all of the chains, looked at all of the references, trying to cross-reference the differences in narrations and what's exactly going on. Because once you get all of the full picture, you can actually chronologically work out the event. So Rasulullah was unconscious. When he gains consciousness, he says, you women are like the women of Yusuf. You women are like the women of Yusuf. Now, this medicine that you fed me, you will drink it too. Now, if I've been fed medicine, why would I be angry? Say, okay, you also drink it too, except for Abbas. What's going on here? Bukhari stops it. The text stops. Ibn Ishaq stops. So then you wonder. So then I checked Sadain bin Qais. He then pulls out the rest of the narration. He says, yes, I know what you are conniving to do, what you're contriving to do, what plots and plans. Again, this is consistency of the same individuals, the same usual suspects from Aqaba, Jaysh al-Osama. Yes, and now on the last illnesses of Rasulullah and feeding medicine. So you see there's a consistency of attacking Rasulullah, even though no, he's left a wasiyah. But by attacking him, killing him, if you know he's going to die, why don't you just leave him to it? If that's what your logic is, that when he passes away, he goes away from the curtain of this dunya, then you should assume take over. No, why? It's that level of oppression and zulm. Just get rid of the leader, we can assume the power. Otherwise, if Rasulullah passes away, maybe there might be a smooth transition. Let's cut this. This is politics at its highest level. I even say this as well. people like Zardari and Nawaz Sharif. Sometimes you think, how do you connive such excellent political maneuvers and stratagems? I'm sure all they need to do is read the books and look what Abu Bakr did, what did Umar did, Osman did, and that's, you know, think, okay, this is how you run politics. This is how you do military coups. This is how you change the face of politics and change the society, just like this. So we are at the stage of what? Medicine, okay? So now Rasulullah sends them all out. He said, you all like the women of Yusuf, everybody get out. They get out, and he said, call Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, and the rest of the family members. And then this is in Sulaim. He says, oh Ali, there's a big conspiracy. Jibreel has just come to me and revealed. And this has actually been spoken many times, but this is another point in Hadith. He said, oh Ali, I'm giving you a wasi. Ya Rasulullah. Okay, what is it? Remember, after me, Abu Bakr and Umar will come and they will attack you. They will attack Fatima. They will come to your house. So every single event that takes place till the time of Zuhur al-Imam al-Mahdi is given at that point. Ali, you have to be patient. You are the one who is the controller and the peacekeeper of the Ummah. Remember, if you have 40 or more people, raise your sword, okay, and establish a rule. However, more than likely you won't have 40 because they are weak, they are meek, and there are people who have hatred and books in their hearts against you, Ali. So be patient. Keep your head down and don't worry. Good days will come at the end of the days. This is a long hadith, and I'm really shorten this. So this was already foretold to Imam Ali alayhi salam. Rasulullah now passes away. Now I don't want to discuss in whose lap did he pass away. Was it Aisha's house? Was it Fatima's house? And if it's Aisha's house, then there's a hadith in Bukhari, we're short of time, I'm going to bring it out, that Aisha herself says, we didn't even know when Rasulullah was buried till we heard the picks axles. So for 3 days, no one knew where the body of Rasulullah was. And Aisha states it clearly, declares, we didn't know where Rasulullah was. So if this is your house, how come you don't know where Rasulullah has been buried? Yes, number one. Number two, wives don't have houses. Okay? And if you do, and you did inherit, then how comes Fatima? And you can. And you can. Yeah. Number three, if it's your house and Rasul is buried there, did you live in that house afterwards? How big is the room? It's probably half this room. So it's not a house, it's a hujrah, yeah? Just a room. So now, how big must a grave be of Rasulullah? You lived there as well, did you? Then Abu Bakr was buried there and you lived there as well. It doesn't make sense. There's a distortion, misinformation, disinformation in history. You just look at it logically, it wasn't Aisha's house. It was on the laps of Bibi Fatima sallallahu alayhi or the other narration states he was on the lap of Now, Rasulullah passes away. Announcement's been made, and the rest of the Ansar and the Muhajirin start gathering outside the house to do afsos, yes, like you do. Abu Bakr and Umar are just outside, and Ubaidullah bin Jarrah turns up. He taps to Umar. He said, what's up? He said, yeah, they gathered there. Okay. Now you stop. As a student of history, think, why would he come to him? He said, they gathered there. That means you're a spy and you know there's something going on. Some plots or plans are happening and you've got your spies on the lookout because Rasul has passed away and there's different groups vying for power. Let me flip it. Why would the Ansar, who are actually known to be followers of Ali, majority of Ansar are actually Hubbi Ali, and they actually were in obedience to Ali. The proof is in the battle of Siffin, on the side of Muawiyah, there was no Ansar. It was all Talaqa. They're the ex-Mushrikeen, ex-Kafirin, ex-Qurayshites. They were with Muawiyah, Bani Umayyah. In Imam Ali's side, it was all Ansar. All of them Ansar. So when you read him, how come Ansar are vying for power too? Because they heard about the pledge that was made in Mecca, in the Kaaba. So they thought Abu Bakr and Umar are going to snatch the Khilafah. So if they snatch the Khilafah, why don't we come first? Because we are more deserving. So there's a meeting that is taking place now. Sakhifa Bani Sa'ida. Bani Sa'ida is a tribe. They used to have a small garden, which if you go to Masjid al-Nabawi, people who have been, if you come out of the door where Rasulullah's ziyarah is on your left-hand side, and then you just walk straight out, take a right, probably walk about 100 meters towards your right-hand side. That's where the election took place. It's not far. It's not like another town. It's literally right near Masjid al-Nabawi. So, Ubaydullah ibn Jarrah said they had gathered. So, okay. He taps on Abu Bakr. Yes, go. Okay, let's go. When they get up there, and they turn up, and there's a big crowd there. And Saad, Saad, Jarrah, Ubaydullah ibn Jarrah, and there's another guy, is missing his name. He's already been appointed Khalif. There's already a Khalif been appointed. So Abu Bakr wasn't the first Khalif anyway. Okay? Even if it's for a moment, yes? Even for an hour, 2 hours, he wasn't the first Khalif. Khalif's been appointed. They come, they said, how can you, the Ansar, have more quality and rank amongst us? We are the one who are from the tribe and the family of Rasulullah. This is their argument. Ansar said, yeah, but we are the helpers. We gave you the shelter. We gave you food. We gave you our women. It's because of us why Islam is now spread far and wide and the success of Rasulullah. Abu Bakr said, no. It's because we are from the family, so we have more rights. Or like Nabuwa is in the Quraysh, therefore Khilafah has to be in the Quraysh. Now, at that point, Umar states in Al-Faruq, Shibli Nomani, probably the greatest seerah written by the brothers on Umar. Okay, 2 volumes. I've got volume 1 here. Okay, and I give it to Shibli Nomani. He does quote the accuracy of the history, and what I like about him, he's put his own opinions and views, which we will, inshallah, benefit from later on. So, in there, when Abu Bakr is starting to speak, he says in there, wow, his speech was same as mine. When I was reading, I thought, okay, you must have prepared the speech together. How come one says that Abu Bakr is so great that he reads my mind? This is the speech that I prepared. He was word for word. So Abu Bakr then, obviously, this is the speech. Still, the Ansar are not agreeing. Umar then conjures up a tactic which is called the old divide and rule. He said the Aus and Khazraj, that 2 swords cannot be in the same scabbard. Do talwar ek nyam mein nahi ho sakte, do sher ek jangal mein nahi kar sakte. You have an old enmity. You are old tribal feuds. If one of you has become Khalif, then how come the Aus would rule over the Khazraj, or the Khazraj would rule over the Aus? Can't be right. They being so simple-minded, turned each other and said, yeah, that's true. We will never be ruled by you. Then they said, we will never rule by you. Then a punch-up ensues. Nobody states, people on the floor, noses are bleeding, teeth are broken, shirts are ripped. Yes? Punch-up. Omar then said, everybody stop. He gets his sword out. One of the Ansar gets up and says, okay, why don't we have one Khalifa from you, one from us? No problem at all. Problem solved. And Muhajirun, you have one Khalifa too. Everybody has their Khalifa. Umar says, no, there can only be one ruler, that's us. Pulls out the sword. And then he raises Abu Bakr's hand and he says, now everybody pay fealty and pay allegiance to Abu Bakr. And then out of the commotion of the Jarrah, one or two other people who had the hatred for the Aus, the Khazraj page, homage to him. And then the Khazraj and the Aus had their hatred for Khazraj, so they paid homage to him. It's not because Abu Bakr was the most qualified, because of their own enmity. We don't want the enemy to become the leader, let's just choose him while he's here. This is how Saqifa actually came to being, as opposed to the qualities of Abu Bakr, like the brothers say, because of his age, because of his wisdom, businessman, he had lots of money and respect. He belonged to the tribe, I don't want to try and progress here, he belonged to the tribe of Bani Tamim, Taim. I've got one of the books here, but I'm not going to look for it. Abu Bakr himself says that we were from the lowest tribe of the Quraysh. It's the lowest tribe. So if you look at the society of the time, if you belong to the lowest tribe or clan, yes, lowest clan, how can you assume leadership? The Bani Umayyah, Bani Hashim are there. This is the lowest one. Now, a lowest clan, what do? They serve the clans who were higher in rank. So these were actually servants, yes? And we know what servants do, right? So, Abu Bakr assumed the Khilafah, the actual seat of Khilafah. He comes out of there. Umar said, we have to quickly get the allegiance from Bani Hashim. Now, what's happening over there? Rasul has passed away. And there's only 14 people that attend the funeral of Rasulullah. Only 14 people. And while this is going on, the Masjid al-Nabi is packed. The next day, Umar said, we have to call everybody, announce a Khalifa has been chosen, has been appointed. Everybody has to come and pay fealty and pay allegiance to Abu Bakr. In the morning, after Fajr, Azan, Azan, and he doesn't know, by the way, that Abu Bakr has become the Khalif. Because Bilal's protest is registered in history. So did you become Khalifa? I will never read Azan. I only read Azan if Ali is the Khalifa. He is my Imam. He is the Wasi. He is the Khalifati of Rasulullah. They said, okay, get banished from here then. That's why he got exiled to Syria. And lots of people who've been to Syria, his place is there. Okay, his maqam is there. So the Azan is proclaimed. Now, the tactic was what? What we want to do. This is Abu Bakr, Umar, Khalid bin Walid, Kunfud, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Talha, and the other cronies that were with them too. They said that there's a special dye that you get, put it on Abu Bakr's hand. We will come towards Masjid al-Nabawi, but through the market, and every person that we see, we say, pay fealty to Abu Bakr, and we get his hand, force them, and rub the dye on their hands. Now, why? Two reasons. One I will tell you now. By the time they got to Masjid al-Nabawi, a big announcement made, everybody has to come in. They say, everybody raise your hands, who has given fealty, has got a dye on their hands. So many people said, huh? What happened here? Sadain actually narrates this in his book. He said, while I was walking, I saw Umar. He grabbed my hand. He made me pay allegiance. I didn't know why. He rubbed it like this and I walked away. And I realized I've got to die my hand. But I didn't know why. When he went to Masjid al-Nabawi, I found out the plan. So everybody raised hands. Now, why? It's because when you have, for example, we have lots of people here, okay? If everyone's got their hands raised, everyone's going to die, you might have a bit of a FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So a lot of the weak ones, they didn't know what was going on. In the confusion, they also paid allegiance too. Now, this was number one. Number two, while this is going on, Fazl bin Abbas, Abdullah bin Abbas, Zubair, come to Imam Ali. Masjid al-Nabawi is packed. People are giving allegiance. Oh, Ali, what shall we do? He said, go away. I don't want to do nothing. I'm at home collecting the home. Yes. So he stayed there. And he gave an announcement, don't disturb me for the next 3 days, I'm going to be here. They kept knocking on his door. Ali, Abu Bakr has been chosen. Now, while they're in the mosque, the actual Ansar say, but what about Ali? Every time Abu Bakr or Umar had a speech, Ali's name was also given to it. And I forgot to mention, even in Sahifa, there's only one person who had unanimous votes. Ali, and he wasn't even there. Unanimous votes. They kept saying, yes, Abu Bakr fine, Umar fine, but remember Ghadir. So in Sahifa, Ghadir was mentioned by the Ansar. Same thing again. Some of the big companions like Salman, Abu Zar, and he was Miqdad, and they were known for their fiery speeches. Oh, Abu Bakr, have you forgotten that you pledged allegiance to Ali in front of Rasulullah and everybody else? Have you forgotten? Throw him out of the masjid. Pick him up and throw him out. To silence. Now, Imam Ali al-Islam hears this. After 3 days, what did they do? At night time, it brings Bibi Fatima, Hassan and Hussein. If Bibi Fatima is on a mule, they go to the houses of the Ansar. And they say, open the door. When they open the door, look at the Mazlumiyat. Ali's been chosen, Ghadir, 120,000 people. Each person has paid allegiance. Yet when Rasulullah passes away, at the cover of night, in the darkness, from street to street, he has to knock, canvassing door to door. You forgot my haqq, but he doesn't speak. Who speaks? Bibi Fatima is speaking. So what is Fatima doing here? Fatima becomes the Zainab. Zainab copies Fatima. That's the revolution that Fatima starts. She is the savior of the Wilaya. Just like Bibi Zainab is the savior for Imam Hussein al-Islam and his message. If you want for Bibi Zainab, we'll never know Karbala. If you want for Fatima, we'll never know Saqifa. We'll never know the door. And all these incidents that are in history and in such tragedy and such cruelty upon the Ahlul Bayt, on the passing of Rasulullah, because of Fatima's stand, her revolution. So Fatima, Ali knocks on the door. They open the door. Fatima said, yes, have you got him? Ali is the wali. He is the akhi wal awwalin wal akhirin. The text states, didn't pay allegiance? The Ansar used to cry at the door and said, Ya Ali, we promise you, we'll be there tomorrow on your side. Ali said, okay then, shave your head and come to the masjid. You see the guy and the shaving of the head. Who's what and where and how? Ali said, okay, shave your heads. If you're with me, show me the proof. In masjid that will be tomorrow, you come. How many people came to the masjid with the shaved heads? 3, 4, okay. Only 4 people. That is why the Sunnis or the brothers accuse us. You believe that only 4 were the mu'mins, rest of the Muslims renegade and they become kafir. Kufr in your action, not in your whole belief. You're not kafir, but your action was kufr. Why? When you paid allegiance to the wali of your time, to the Khalifa of the time, how can you renegade? This is an act of kufr. Only 4 people. Who? Salman, Abu Zar, Baghdad. Now, with Ammar, there's a dispute whether it was Ammar or it was Huzaifa. So when I've looked at the text, that one person, there's always a flip there. And I've read also that Sulaim comes to Ammar and he says, how come you did not? He said, I came after, so I was the second of the 7. So first it was a 4, then there was a 7, then there was a 12, then it started increasing. So 4 people came with their heads shaved. So therefore, Umar said to Abu Bakr, there's a plot that's happening in the house of Fatima. We have to crush this dissension. And I'm going to read from here. Shibli Nomani, because he actually opens it up. Yeah. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد. Very hard text. So when I read this long time ago, so Umar states that Umar took time by the forlock and at one place to pay homage of allegiance. So A rising storm. So the proclamation of the allegiance to Abu Bakr was a rising storm, but it was warded off. And the people became satisfied and took to the pursuits of the normal life. It's all done and dusted, yes? The only dissenting section of the people were Banu Hashim. Dissenting? Okay, fitna was? Is that what you're calling the house of Rasulullah? The only dissenting section of the people were Banu Hashim, who still insisted upon their claims and occasionally gathered at Fatima's house, plotting to achieve their ends. Look at the language Shibli is using here. That's his opinion. He admits they come to the house. They were, but Fatima and the group of behind Ali, the loyalists, they were at Fatima's house. But he calls them what? Dissenters. Plotting to achieve their own ends, as if it was something to do with the lazzat or the actual prize of the khilafah, and they wanted it in the lust for power. Umar tried to force them to pay homage to the first caliph, but Banu Hashim could not bow down for any person except Ali. Learn Abidi in his Tarikh has narrated a tradition to the effect that Umar, standing at the door of Fatima, exclaimed, "O daughter of the Prophet, I swear by God that we love you best of all. But if your house continues any longer to be a rendezvous for conspiring men in this manner, I will set fire to it on the count of this man." Rendezvous of conspiring men. Do you know who were there? Hassan, Hussein, Ali is in the house. The authority of this now, I'm going to quickly move on, and then Umar was. Shibli says that he's not checked out the chain of narration, so he tries to weaken the hadith. However, he comes to one admission. He says that Umar was a man of hot and extreme temper, and such an act would not have been inconsistent with his nature. The fact is that certain measures were rashly and over-energetically taken by Umar at this critical juncture. Although they may be wanting in moderation, still it should be remembered that it was owing to the very fact that sedition was nipped in the bud. If the machinations of Banu Hashim continued, the foundation of Islamic Brotherhood would have shaken there and there. The same civil wars would have started at the wake of Ali Muawiyah. This is Shibli Nomani and how he views this history. It's good it happened. They came to Fatima's door. They burnt it. He said they came to Fatima's door, and Umar said, "I will burn the house down." So there's a admission, and he quotes his own references in his own research too. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So Umar says to Abu Bakr, "Listen, without Ali's bay'ah, your khilafah, your seat, you will not have authority amongst the Muhajirun and the Ansar. We have to get him and force him in any way possible." Abu Bakr is thinking, he said, "Give me one night." The text state, he was at night time, he couldn't go to sleep, turning left to right. How can I do this? This is Ali. I pay allegiance. I saw this in Sulaim bin Qais, yes? And then in the morning he wakes up and he says to Umar, "I have decided. Let's go ahead and proceed and make sure no stone is unturned for the allegiance." Umar was happy. He said, "Yes." Qunfudh is in the assembly. He said, "Qunfudh, go to Ali and tell him to pay allegiance." Qunfudh comes to Ali's house. Ali opens the door. Qunfudh is slightly scared now, because when Ali opens the door, it's his stature. Yes? Fateh Khaybar. Fateh Khandak. And Ali knows why he's come. And Qunfudh knows what he's falling in for. And he says, "Yes, what do you want?" He said, "Abu Bakr is calling for allegiance." He said, "Go away from me. I am busy collecting the Quran." There's another text just came to. Qunfudh gets worried and scared. He goes back. Umar said, "Okay, what happened?" He said, "Ali, just take me back." The actual text says, "You idiot." It's not me saying this, by the way, okay? This is the text. It's, "You idiot. You can't do a small job that I tell you to do. I'm gonna go now." Yes. Umar then goes to the house, and Bibi Fatima is at the door. Now, question, why is Bibi Fatima at the door? This is a question that's raised by the brothers. How come a woman? Now, Arabic custom and culture norms are very important to understand history. If you don't understand society, their culture, and their norms, you want to extract the correct understanding from history why certain actions took place in incidents and events. Okay, like today, sometimes we may go to Pakistan, different culture. Where in the UK, we might go to a shopping mall or whatever, different culture, the way we speak to people, adab, akhlaq is different. In the Arabic culture, when the woman is on the other side of the door, it means you're not wanted in the house. You're not important anymore. Very rarely, when this happens, the man is not supposed to engage in conversation with the woman on the other side. It's a sign of the Arabs that I'm disrespecting you, I don't want to engage with you. That's why Bibi Fatima comes. This is an Arabic norm and custom. You're not wanted there. Okay? So Omar comes and he says, bring out Ali. Fatima says, what do you want with Ali? Omar says he has to pay allegiance to Abu Bakr. Fatima says, do you know who I am? I am Bint Rasulullah. And you know whose house you've come to. Omar says, I know whose house this is, and I know you are the best of all the women. Yet if you keep conspiring, it's like the text of the state, I will have to force myself and burn the house down. At this point, the door does not get open, Omar goes back. Remember, this happens about 5 times, by the way. We seem to think when we read that history or it's from the member, we don't get the full details. The door was knocked on 5 times. Omar goes back, they come back together again, have an assembly. Khalid bin Walid, and the Omar, Abu Bakr, and all the other ilk were all there. What shall we do? We've been 2 times now. Khalid bin Walid states, or Omar states, this is a ikhtilaf within text. Said, listen, let's go back, but now with 200 people. They go with 200 people, and then they say, now we threaten them. And they will hear the noise, they will get scared, and we bring out Ali. Omar said, what a great plan. Or Khalid bin Walid said, what a great plan. Abu Bakr was thinking, he said, we can't do this. No. Omar was always a bit more of a tactician, diplomat, strategist, okay? Strategist. He said, do you think that's a good thing to do? Because if they see us doing this, the Ansar might go against us. So this, the action that we're taking might go against us. Anyway, they all decided that this is what we should do. 200 people come outside. They come at the door. And Zubair, Ali, Abbas, Hassan, Hussein, and Fatima are in the house. Imagine you're in a room from about this big and you can hear 200 people. Okay, commotion. Omar says to make as much noise as possible. They get pots and pans and they're making noise, so they get all the other people out on the streets. Let people know, whatever happens, hook or crook, we're taking allegiance by force. To let the other people know, if we can do this to the house of Fatima, who are you? There's a full military coup now taking place. Yes? They come outside and it says, oh, open the door, otherwise we will burn the house down. Now, the history states that Omar said, we've surrounded your house. What does that mean, by the way? One house is outside, which goes outside to the street. The other door opens where? Masjid. We've surrounded your house. That means there were men in Masjid Nabawi with fire too. In other words, if you're burning the house of Fatima, you're burning Masjid Nabawi. Yes, this is how evil, this is how hard-hearted they were, just the lust for the power of the Khilafah, of the Kursi. This, we've surrounded your house. Firewood has been placed around the house. So they placed firewood, so when they burn it, it catches fire and the house becomes in flames. There's a long conversation that ensues between Fatima and Ali, Fatima and Omar. Omar then instructs Kunful, go in and enter the door. Ikhtilaf in the text. Was it Kunful who kicked the door? Was it Omar who kicked the door? I saw lots of text and I tried to join these together. What I see, okay, is my istikhraj, okay, istinbat. This is not dalil, okay? That Kunful is the one who was trying to open the door, but he was a little bit hesitant, and Bibi Fatima was resisting to opened the door. Kunfud had a durra, yet he had a whip. So he whipped Fatima from outside of the door. So that way she releases the pressure and he can get in. While this is taking place, Umar is the one, he gets angry and he kicks the door. So now look at the text. I look at it like this, as Umar then kicks the door. Now Now I'm not going to relate the actual musibah. I'm going to leave that till last. I'm going to fast forward. They enter the house. Ali is there. Now, this is another, how shall I rephrase? Another misinterpretation of history, that Ali was controlled and wrestled. A rope was tied to his neck and dragged on the streets of Medina to Masjid Nabawi. That's not what the text say. The text is clear. I read 3 versions of this, by the way. Okay. The first text: Umar comes in. Ali says, Fatima. As soon as he comes in, Ali picks up Umar like this and chucks him on the floor, and then puts his knee onto his neck. They say that Umar's nose was bleeding and one teeth was broken. Text number 1. Okay, this is narration number 1. Narration number 2. Imam Ali picks him up, chucks him on the floor, gets on top of him, and punches him in the face. Hence the bleeding of the nose and the breaking of the teeth. Third narration states Imam Ali picks him up, chucks him on the floor. They're all consistent on the 3 narrations. Puts him on the floor and gets him into a headlock so hard that the nose and the teeth are bleeding. So nose and teeth bleeding, picking him up, chucking him on the floor is consistent in all the texts. Bihar al-Anwar, al-Khisal by Sheikh Saduq, al-Amali by Sheikh Tutusi and some others too, and Sulaim bin Qais Hilali. So when you put all the texts together, it seems like to me all 3 took place. Umar was on the floor, Kunfud ran away, Umar then screamed, help me, somebody, help me. And some of the texts say he was slightly unconscious. He got up in the days, he got up and then he ran away. Ali is standing alone in the house. Fatima has been taken by Fizza to take care of. He's got a choice to make. What does he do? Does he go back and raise his sword and fight them? He hasn't got 40 people. If he fights them, what's going to happen? He could die. He could get shaheed. Like Rasulullah told him, if you haven't got the 40 people, you could go shaheed. Or does he go out and he says, okay, I know what you've come for, so take me as you will. This is what actually happens when they realize Imam Ali has put the sword down, his hands are down now, he's no longer showing that he wants to fight and do combat and do jihad. That's when they came and put the rope. So when he's taken out of his house, it's seen by the people as if the rope has been put on Ali by force. It's Ali who says, I know what you do, so put the rope on me. So willingly, this is the patience of Ali. Sabr. Can you imagine how Mazloom he must have been at that time? Fatima is just over there, just been hurt. Hassan and Hussein, the texts say were very worried and they're very, very young and they were crying. And Ali is there. Do we protect the family? Rasul has passed away. That sadness and that grief has not evaded yet. It's not finished yet. And then you've got these people conspiring to break up Islam. So Imam Ali becomes the one who unifies the Muslims, and he goes out. He gets taken to the masjid. In the masjid, he gets put on his knees. They said, "Pay allegiance." He said, and then he gives them a khutbah, a small khutbah. He said, "Don't you remember? In Ghadir, you paid allegiance to me. Rasulullah stated, I am what is, Harun is to Musa. Okay? And I am the one who is the first Muslim. I am the one who you all paid allegiance to." Abu Bakr, Umar, they then have a dialogue with Imam Ali alayhi salam, and I was getting a bit tight and late, so I'm going to quickly shorten this down. So, in the end, what they do, they rub Imam Ali's hand forcefully, and he said, yes, he's paid allegiance. The Ansar are now pacified because they're saying, no, it's Ali, it's Ali. Salman is there, said, no. Salman was about to draw his sword. Zubair is about to draw his sword. Abbas is there, Salman is there, Miqdad is there, Ammar is there. There's about good 7-8 people about to draw their swords. Imam Ali says, no, stop. There's another narration which I'm going to quickly jump to, and then we're going to get to the actual Hussein. I wanted to cover Fadak, but that's you won't have time because everyone's tired. Again, this scene takes place within Masjid Nabawi. Fadak is claimed after about, say, 30 days. Abu Bakr and Umar are still sitting down and saying, listen, we've got Ali to pay allegiance, but people know it was forced. We have to do something. We have to squeeze them even more. Umar says, take Fadak. They go and take the land of Fadak, 7 villages. We haven't got time. I've got to cover how much, which I think I done on the last Majlis, the value of Fadak, how much money is to produce, and how much it used to provide a small economy for the poor of the actual Medina. When that was taken, Bibi comes to the Darbar. We all know the famous sermon of Fadaqiyya. In that sermon too, she then alludes to Allah, who is the creator of the universe, Rasulullah is your messenger, and how you guys were both mushrikeen. And she then tells them that their state of najasa under dhulamat that used to be, and how it's because of Rasulullah, they come to the place and the state of nur. They say at that time, then, when Fatima gave this sermon, Umar gets up, what do we have to do with this lady? She's a liar. They say that someone asked Imam Ali alayhi salam, I think it was Sulaim, he said, Ya Ali, in all of these events, which one hurt you the most? People might think it must have been the rib. It could have been the slap or the kick. Ali says, no, Fatima had the most sadama of wine when they called her a liar. Tahira, Sadiqa. They called me a liar. This was the most saddest for Bibi Fatima. Not that she was attacked. Not that her house was burning on fire. They called me a liar. So Fadak sermon, we haven't got time for. This is another point where then they grab Ali. And they say, bring him to the masjid. The next day after Fadak, Imam Ali is coming to the masjid, and Abu Bakr has ordered Khalid bin Walid, stand next to him, and as soon as I say, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, you then remove the head of Ali. Abu Bakr is leading the prayer, Khalid is right next to him. Abu Bakr, he says, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, stop it, do not do it. This is what the text states. Stop it, do not do it. Imam Ali turns around to Khalid bin Walid. Do you think what you're going to do to me? He picks up Khalid, puts him on the floor, and beats him up. Pulls out his sword, and from the actual scabbard of the sword, hits him on the nose. Khalid gets beaten up. Salman jumps in, and all the Ammar, Miqdad, Abu Zar, everybody is there. Big commotion takes place. Salman, being the old and wise one, said, everybody stop. And they says to Ali, please, Ya Ali, don't do this. Hold back. Remember the wasiyah of Rasulullah. It's at the same time we find that hadith too, that they hear this. Someone goes back to tell Bibi Pizza what's happening in Masjid al-Nabawi. Bibi Fatima comes out from the other side and she says, then she raises, and I'm going to go for the text, she raises her hand and she's about to invoke a la'an. La'an upon the ummah. They say the Masjid Nabi starts swirling, the walls start shaking, there's like an earthquake, thunder starts happening, and then Ali tells Salman, oh Salman, quickly tell Fatima not to invoke the la'an, otherwise this ummah will perish forever. Salman comes to Bibi and said, please, oh, I have a message from the Mawla, from your husband Ali, do not invoke the la'an. Fatima then puts the hand down and she goes back to her place. So these are small snippets. I didn't get time to give you the whole full the historiography of the actual events. I'm seeing a few of the faces a little bit tired now. So these are the tragic events, and I want to come back and I want you our focus on the door. This is part of the actual musibah. When I was reading the text, it was a bit confusing. Who kicked Bibi Fatima? Who whipped Bibi Fatima? Who slapped Bibi Fatima? Who punched Bibi Fatima? When I was looking at the text, Konfod is the one who whips first with his dur. Umar then he kicks the door. And when he kicks the door, there's like a door stopper, which is a nail. They say the nail was probably about this big. The nail then pierces the ribs of the Lady of Light. That's the point where Mohsin gets shaheed. But the dhulm doesn't stop there. The dhulm does not stop here. Just like the lights around is dark. Imagine the darkness of that time. The dhulm. And Imam Ali is watching this. Umar kicks the door. The door is already on fire. So now the Bibi has been. Then, as soon as Umar comes in, he's the one who slaps the Bibi. He then drags her from behind the door and she's on the floor. When I was reading the text, I was confused who was kicking. Remember, this is not just one door that has been broken down upon the Bibi and it's the nail that's been inserted forcefully inside her through the door. She's on the floor. They mercilessly kick her on the ribs. They said that Umar had the door and Kunfut had the door. So when I lined the text, it seems like to me both of them were slapping the Bibi, punching the Bibi. They had a whip too, and they were purposely kicking. That musibah. They say within history, there's been 3 funerals that when the Ghassad were doing ghusl, they had to stop and they had to cry and they had to realize how come this body is in this state. They say the first one was Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam. They say when he was doing the ghusl of Imam Zain al-Abidi, he turned around him to pour the water at the back. He stopped. He got the jug. He chucked it. Oh, ya Baba! Oh, I didn't know that you sustained so many injuries. How they must have chained you. How they must have hit you. That was one point. Another one. Let's go to Sham. Let's go to the Zindan. And we find Sukaina. Bibi Zainab. Bibi Sakina just passed away. Bibi Zainab then goes to, oh, Yabna Rasulullah. Oh, Imam. What should we do now? What is the hukam? Shall we do ghusl to her? Or shall we bury her in her clothes? Imam says, no, Puppy Amma, don't do this. She says, why? She says, you don't know how many lashes is at the back. That the clothes are stuck to the dried wounds in the blood. No, if you take off the cloth, the pieces of skin will also come out too. Do not bury her like this too. This was the second one. And the third one, when Imam Ali alayhi salam is doing the ghusl of Bibi Fatima, her hand is on the rib. Ali says, oh Fatima, please can you remove your hand? The narration states that Fatima removed the hand. Ali had the jug and chucked it. He smashed his head against the wall. He goes, oh Fatima, how did you hide this from me? I wasn't aware of the extent of your injuries. The narration states that most of her ribs from one side were broken. And they say that the whips that were given, there were a bruising that was around the arms, like a whip when it gets wrapped around. So Imam Ali said, oh, my lady Fatima, how you did not share your pain and grief with me. And this is Imam Hassan alayhi salam, when he used to say that when I walk the streets of Medina, I see a group of people, I turn away. Your Sahab is saying, Ya Imam, why do you turn away from these groups of people? He said, they're the ones who hurt my mother. They're the ones whenever I see them, I relay their debate. And I can't bear it anymore. The narration states his eyes used to boil red in anger or in grief. لعنة الله على قوم الظالمين اللهم لعن الله عليهم فضاتبهم منكر فضالهم أجمعين يوم الدين أول والآخرين آمين رب العالمين اللهم إني أسألك زيادة في العلم وسعة في الجسم بركة في الرزق وطولا في الأمر ونور في القلب خوف قبل الموت راحة عند الموت مغفرة بعد الموت نجاة من النار دخول في الجنة وعافية من كل بلاء الدنيا عذاب الآخرة حق محمد وعند الظاهرة اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج